Okay. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to Qur'an with Maryam Session 17 today. And inshallah, I will introduce each and every one of you one by one, all our panelists. But first, I want to make sure that I want to get rid of one confusion. So I know that a lot of you are having a confusion about panelists and participants, and how you can become a panelist or a participant. It might be a little bit confusing, but so today I want to just talk about that a little bit. So first of all, for either panelist or participant, if you want to join, you have to be a channel member. And if you're not a channel member, then there's no way you can watch from the Zoom, but you can watch from YouTube because we always go live from the Zoom. So wherever you are in the world, you can still watch the entire event, but not if you're not a channel member, then you can't watch as a panelist or a participant. So that's number one. Number two is if you want to be a panelist, then you have to be a Maryam Session. And for panel participants, you'll see that if you are a channel member, we will always send you an email. We will always send you an email with a link to join with the ID and everything for the Zoom. But when you click in that link, it will lead you to the community page. And then from the community post, you can find everything that you need to join as a participant or a panelist or whatever.
No, the panelists will receive an email.
The panelists will receive direct emails with the ID and password for joining as a panelist. That's only for Maryam Session. But for everyone else who is a channel member, you'll receive, if you are in our email list, if you sent us an email saying that you're a channel member, we will send you an email with the link to a community post. On that community post, you will find how you can join as a participant. And if you're not a channel member and you still get the email, it's probably because you were a channel member before, but somehow you're not anymore. And that's why we still have you in our email list, but you will not be able to see the community post in that case. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but inshallah we'll get the hang of things soon. And also, I know some of the participants asked to become a channel, asked to become a participant, but sometimes it is not possible because you're not a Maryam Session, or because we like rotate every time, so we try to give equal chances to everyone. So if you become a panelist one time, being it another time it won't happen for a few sessions until we cover everybody after that, and inshallah you'll become again. So that's what I needed to explain. So I'm pretty sure I talked to everyone, so we can begin our class today. So I'll share my screen. And if any of you have any questions while I'm doing it, then you can unmute and ask, that's fine. So I'm gonna share my screen now. Okay. Hopefully you can see. Let me move this over. Let's go to the class material. I'm not sure, did we send the material?
Yes.
We already sent the material to the channel members, so you should.
They didn't send the email.
And if you didn't send us your email, then we probably didn't send it to you. But if you did, then you should have the slides, and you can review with me while I'm going over it. So this is session 17 for Qur'an with Maryam, and today's topic is also about Med. It's a Tajweed class. Last time we did Med, but since there's two types of Med, we're covering the next ones today. And we will be going over Med for the next couple of Tajweed sessions because there's a lot of parts to the Med, and it's very important for us to fully understand it because it's as you can see, an interesting fact is that it is the most commonly mistaken rules in Tajweed. So it is very important for us to know it by heart, know it very well, so we can make sure that we're not making a mistake while doing the Med. So the root word, I'm pretty sure I already talked about this last time, but I'm just doing it as a review. So the root word madda means to literally increase, elongate, lengthen, extend, prolong, all these words. And in Tajweed terminology, it refers to the elongation of specific vowels, which are the Arabic vowels. If you know, it's alif, waw, and ya, 3 letters. So those are the Arabic vowels. There are 2 types of Mad Asli and Mad Also, I spelled this wrong. Let me fix it. Asli. There we go. Mad Asli and Mad al-Far'i. So last time we went over Mad Asli. This is the really easy type of Mad, which you see very, very often in the Quran. It's like everywhere. It's just the 2 haraka mad that you see in a lot of words. 2 haraka, 1 alif. That's the Mad Asli. It was pretty easy, but if you don't remember it, you can always go back to the previous material. It's from session 15. As-samawat, that's one example. As you can see, the waw after it has a small alif, which is a 2 haraka mad or 1 alif mad. Let me think of another one. Khabir, or basir, those all have those little yas. Those are also Mad Asli. Unless you're stopping, then it will be a Mad al-Far'i. It's a little bit hard to understand without examples, so we're gonna go over Mad al-Far'i examples. So today we're learning about Mad al-Far'i. This mad occurs when the letters of mad, which are alif, waw, and ya, the Arabic vowels, they have a hamza or sukoon after them. So there are 4 types of Mad al-Far'i. So even after 2 types of mad, there's more categories. You break it down into 4 types of Mad al-Far'i. So number 1 is Mad Muttasil, number 2 is Mad Munfasil, number 3 is Mad Arid Waqfi, and number 4 is Mad Lazim. Today we're only going to go over Mad Muttasil. I want to take it slow, understand it step by step, so that we have no confusions. So let me like paraphrase this one more time. So mad is elongation on Arabic vowels, and there are 2 types of mad al-Asli and Mad al-Far'i. Mad al-Asli is the common type of mad that you see when you have a letter with a fatha and then you have an alif after it with a sukoon. That's Mad al-Asli. Or if you have waw, if you have a letter with dhamma and then you have waw after it with a sukoon, that's also Mad al-Asli. And if you have a letter with kasra and then ya after it with a sukoon, that's also Mad al-Asli. That's the more very common type of mad. Well, these are also common, but that one you see like everywhere. That one is only 2 harakat or 1 alif. The next type is Mad al-Far'i, and Mad al-Far'i is when you have the Arabic vowels with the mad sign followed by hamza or sukoon. In Mad al-Far'i, there's 4 types: Mad al-Muttasil, Mad al-Munfasil, Mad Arid Waqfi, and Mad al-Lazim. We're going to go over each one of them, inshallah. Today we're going to do Mad al-Muttasil. So Mad al-Muttasil, or it's also known as the attached mad. So this mad, it happens when after the letters of mad, alif, waw, and ya, the hamza appears in the same word. Now this is the most important part, the same word, because Mad al-Munfasil is 2 separate words, but Mad al-Muttasil is the same word. So we really need to remember this. And that's why it is sometimes referred to as the attached mad, because since the hamza after the Arabic vowel is literally attached to the letter, it's in the same word basically. It's a little bit confusing, so we're going to go over the examples. The duration of this mad, this is also very important. It's tawassut. Tawassut is one type of the durations. There's tawassut and there's also other types of durations. Tawassut basically means medium, and it needs to be 2, 2.5, or 4 alifs. Now, alifs and harakat are 2 different things, so we can't get that mixed up. Basically, 1 alif is 2 harakat. So from that, you can see that 2 alifs would be 4 harakat, 2.5 alifs would be 5 harakat, or 4 alifs, so the maximum for this mad is 8 harakat. But no one really does 8 since that's really high. Usually they do 4 or 5, and this is all under the tawassut. Other types of elongations are tul, and then there's the short ones as well. Tul is long, qasr is short, so those are just some types of elongations, which you will find in the other mads as well. But for Mad al-Muttasil, you have to remember it's tawassut, and the length that you prolong it is, you can remember it in 2 ways. If you're more familiar with the alif, then you can remember it with the alif, or if you're more familiar with the harakat, you can remember with the harakat. For me, it's easier to remember with the harakat, but I'll say both of them. So alif, you have 2 alifs, 2.5 alifs, or 4 alifs. And then for harakat, you have 4 harakat, 5 harakat, or maximum 8 harakat. The way you can count it is with your finger. So 1 finger putting it down or putting it up, that's equal to like 1 harakat. So if you were to do the mad with 4 harakat, you would do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how long you would make it. So that's the Mad al-Muttasil. We have examples as well. I'm going to take a little bit time for the examples so you can understand it very nicely. So as you can see, all of these words are just, the mad is in just 1 word. So you can see that over here, ja'a, you have the alif with the mad sign followed by hamza, but as you can see, ja'a is one word. So it would be different if the hamza was in a different word, in a separate, if there were two different words, then it would be mad al-munfasil, which we will go over next time, inshallah. So this is why it's mad al-muttasil, because all the mads are in the same word, they're attached. So ja'a, so you would prolong it like ja'a, 4 harakat. Or you could do 5. Ja'a. Did I do 6? I think I did 6. But 4, 5, or maximum 8. Those are the durations. So ja'a is one example. Wal qailina. See, the hamza is also after the mad in the same word. And then you have yasha'u. And then that's the examples for alif. And then wow, you have su'an. And then in Surat al-Ibrahim, you have walahum su'ud dar. And then you have latanu'u. So that's for wow. And then yeah, you have hani mari'a. Both of those are mad al-muttasil. Hani'an and mari'a, because you have ya with the mad followed by hamza in the same word. And then si'a and waji'a. So those are the examples. I'm gonna go over everything one more time since it's a lot of parts to it and it might be a little bit confusing. So med is elongation. The root word literally means to prolong, and in Tajweed terminology, it means to elongate the specific Arabic vowels. So there are two types of med al-Asli and Mad al-Far'i. Mad al-Asli is the common type of med, which is only 2 harakat or 1 alif, and you can find that when you have a letter with a fatha followed by alif, a letter with a kasra followed by ya, or a letter with dhamma followed by waw. And then mad al-far'i is the mad which occurs when after the letters of mad there is a hamza or a sukun. So 4 types of mad al-far'i, they are mad al-muttasil, mad al-munfasil, mad al-arid waqfi, and mad al-lazim. Today we're going over mad al-muttasil, which is the attached mad. So this mad happens when you have one of the letters of the Arabic vowels, alif, waw, ya, with the mad sign, followed by a hamza, and they have to be in the same word. That's why it's referred to as the attached mad, because the hamza is attached to the Arabic vowel before it, they're in the same word. And the duration is 2, 2.5, or 4 alifs, which also means 4, 5, or maximum 8 harakat. And this elongation is called tawassut, which is like medium elongation. Now, there are different references for how you would prolong. So maybe in other ones they do like tul or qasr. It depends on which style of recitation you're following. But for the style that I follow, which is according to like Hafs and Asim, it's tawassut, which means it's 2, 2.5, or 4. Wait, someone just drew on my thing. I didn't do that. Who did that? Who did that? I can't do that. It's yellow lines.
Yeah, that's because I think I'm allowing some participants to do. Maybe by mistake they did that.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you undo that?
I don't know how to undo it because I can't even do it myself. I don't know how they did it.
Okay, that's okay.
It's fine. It doesn't really show that much. Anyway, 4, 5, or maximum 8 harakat. So that's the wasl. That's the duration. And then examples, we have ja'a, su'an, hani'an mari'a, والقائلين, that's 5. ولهم سوء الدار, سيئة, يشاء, لتنوء, and waji'a. Those are examples. So once you start reciting the surah, it's better to always use the same duration for all the same types of mad. So for example, if you start mad al-muttasil, you find a mad al-muttasil and you recite it with 4 harakat, which means 2 alifs, then you should continue to recite all the mad al-muttasil with the same duration, so 2 alifs, 4 harakat. But you can do different for the other mads, like mad al-munfasil. If you find one and you do it with a different duration, then you can continue with the same duration for the mad al-munfasil. That's pretty much all for this session, but I have questions. Before that, if you have any questions, you can ask. Let's go back. Stop share. Okay, if anyone has any questions right now, is the best time to ask. Oh, you can
there
unmute.
are some questions on the other side, panelists. I'm going to unmute one or few to give them a chance.
Oh, before anyone asks to recite, I just want to make one thing clear. When I do give a chance to recite, please make it like 2 or 3 minutes maximum, because we want to give all of you a chance. And if it's too long, then it gets really
Maryam, a lot of people are asking the same question on the participants, and how come they cannot turn on the video? Can you address that?
So the only people who can turn on their video is the panelists, not the participants. Participants can only write in the chat, and if we give you permission, if my father unmutes you, then you can also speak to me without your video. But if you would like to have your video, you need to be a Maryam Session, so we can add you as a panelist to the Zoom webinar. And also for the people who recite, we usually give the panelists chance, but if the participants really want to, then inshallah when they become panelists, we'll give them a chance as well. Just 2 minutes if you want to say. But before that, if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, so I'm gonna unmute a couple of, because I already said that I'm gonna unmute a couple. Now I cannot find Amina, and let me see. Maryam, there are a few questions. Can you see from there?
I can, the chat, I can see the chat.
Yeah, can you see the chat? See if you can please address few questions. And I thought I'm gonna unmute Aisha, Aisha and Aliyah.
Most of these are questions about how to attend as a panelist.
Answer live. Aisha and Aliyah.
If you have any questions on the lesson, then I'll answer. For the panelist, if you want to join as a panelist, I already talked about that.
Aisha and Aliyah, but I cannot find out Aisha and
also,
Aliyah.
one cool thing is that in our next class, inshallah, you won't be seeing this background anymore.
Talk about
You'll be seeing a new background. Because inshallah we're gonna be moving.
Talk about a little bit, Maryam.
Yesterday we went to see our house, and
yesterday we bought our house.
I mean, we bought our house, and inshallah we'll be going very often now to move everything, and we'll be officially moved by the next class, which is July 25th.
Sorry, maybe 5th, yeah, because
so inshallah you'll be seeing a different background then. It won't be this. So you can say goodbye to this wall today. I mean, this house has a lot of really nice memories, so we'll be missing this wall, we'll be missing the studio downstairs, and also the outside, because we made a lot of videos in the outside.
It's been like 5 years, a lot of memories,
yeah,
right?
So a lot of memories. Our earliest videos were done in this house.
You remember with Fatima when 6 months old?
Yeah, and also I remember outside one time we did the Assalamu Alaikum Nasheed. Fatima was like 1 at that time. That one she was circling around me. I remember that one. It was in front of the 2 trees. We'll miss those trees as well. Yeah. So who's gonna miss this house? I'm gonna ask my questions now. First, let's ask. Who should I ask first? Abu, you can choose first. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll start with Brother Ubaidullah.
And ask them to recite. You wanna hear something?
Yeah, I want to hear the recitation as well. So first I want to ask a question, and then where'd my questions go? Oh, there, I found them. Okay, my first question is, what are the 2 types of med to Brother Ubaidullah? And also, Brother Ubaidullah, you're on mute, so can you please unmute so we can hear? We can't hear you yet. Yeah, now we can.
Okay, yeah. The first is the Madul Asli, the second is the Madul Fari.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. Thank you very much. Next, I'll go to Sister, who did I talk to for a while? Sister Safiya Iqbal, maybe I'll talk to Sister Safiya. Sister Safiya, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, your video is off, but that's okay. If you would like to turn on your video, you can. I'll ask you a question. Okay, yeah, now I can see you. And my question is, what are the 4 types of Madul Far'i?
Mad Muttasil, Mad Muttasil.
Yeah, that's correct.
Madul.
It's fine if you don't know because we didn't really go over like the other two. You got two of them right, mashallah, great job. The other two are Mad Al-Waqfi and Mad Al-Lazim. Thank you so much for your answer. Next, I'll go to Sister Zubia Fatima from Australia.
Yes.
So my question is, how long should you make the Mad Muttasil?
You should make the Muttasil around 2.5 or 4 alifs,
Yes, that is.
but maximum 8 harakat.
Yeah, that is correct. Thank you so much, Sister Zubia Fatima. That is on point. Your answer was really good. Next, I'll ask my question to Brother Hadiur Rahman. So the question is, what is the literal meaning of med? Brother Hadiur Rahman, we can't hear you. You're muted right now.
Okay. Is it audible?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
So, literally, mud is elongation.
Yes, that is correct. It means to elongate. So thank you so much for your answer. That's all for today. It's getting late. So inshallah, I will speak to all of you again soon. Hopefully you...
Oh, she's talking.
She's not her. Hopefully this class is beneficial to all of you. I hope that we all are learning from it and benefiting from it. It's a good review for me as well. And inshallah, I will speak to all of you again soon. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.
Maryam, it was so happy to speak to you.
I'm very happy to speak to all of you as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Maryam sister,
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum
Walaikum assalam wa
Wa alaikum
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.